What were those days like until they found her body?
A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of hate towards the whole Buchanan family for, I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but to allow a sexual predator to be around, there's a lot of hate and a lot of unanswered questions. And I just couldn't believe my ears once I heard about it. You know what I mean?
So since then, have you been able to put the pieces together?
What we heard the day we showed up is the apartment manager called 911. And when the police got there,
and that was it was an hour and a half before it was an hour and a half after she had been missing. So she'd been missing at 6:30, and Marine called the 911, I guess, at 8 o'clock. So Denny didn't even call 911. But then Marine told us the day of the funeral, she took us upstairs to her apartment and said that she wanted to tell us that Jenny left property with Nevaeh that day at 2 o'clock. And when Jenny came back to property, she didn't have Nevaeh. So there's so many different stories that we have been told over the years. Putting pieces together is just impossible because everybody has a different story. So to tell you if she was there, if she wasn't there, if she was riding her scooter, if she wasn't, the one boy seen Daddy George take her out of the woods. One seen a vehicle pick her up. The other one seen an ice cream truck. There's so many different stories. Jenny owed a drug debt. If you watch the Nancy Grace with Jenny Buchanan on it, she's defending this guy and saying that, well, first she's defending why she had him around him, but then she's saying that he might have had something to do with the abduction because he owed money to a drug dealer.
So the days go on and you're getting conflicting information. What is going through your mind? How are you handling this?
back then, we were on a lot of drugs. I'm not gonna lie. We were on drugs, so the drugs were keeping me awake. I just wanted to find her. Nothing was going through my head, but find her. I think out of the 13 days, I think there were a total of 6 hours of sleep. So I just wanted to find her and just bring her home and take her to the courtroom and show Pamela Moskwa, the damn judge that denied me, I want to take her home. She is safer with me, and that's what I told the court fighting for her. She's safer with me.
Shane, when her body is found, how did you find out? What did law enforcement contact you?
They actually came to the apartment complex and
Had us meet in Jenny's apartment. Had us come to Jenny's apartment.
I don't think we were all in Jenny's apartment. I think they went there first, and we heard her scream, and then they came out and told us. They walked over to our little, I'm gonna say camp, because we had a tent pitched up, and that's when they told us that the body was confirmed it was her. So yeah, law enforcement did tell us that it was her.
Did they tell you right away how she was found and how they thought she died?
They didn't tell us right away, no. They just said that they found her in a shallow grave, and we didn't find out exactly how she died until we got the death certificate, and that's when we found out it was asphyxiation, and there was sand in her lungs, and it's pretty much she was buried alive.
So when you think about her last moments, how angry are you as her father? Your first child?
To the point that I was, if I didn't have kids at the time, I would probably be in prison right now, to be honest. Because I think I would have killed the whole family, to be honest. Whoever is in my way, they would have went down. Sherry, Jenny, Mike, you know, Sean Lawson, the cousin, the whole family. I would have probably been in prison. But my kids are my savior because they need their dad out providing for them.
You've been to where her body was found. The memorial is beautiful. But can I ask you, what are your thoughts about the person who killed her? Because that location is so remote that I feel like it had to be someone from the area.
They said it was George Kennedy's favorite fishing spot because I guess his mom lived right down the street. I always thought that I'm not protecting him. I'm not, you know, talking good about him, but I always thought they tried to frame him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they found a bag of cement from the company that he worked for, cigarette butts, beer bottles. You know, I think somebody was trying to frame him. I think his ID.
His ID was found somewhere around there. You know.
So I don't know if it was him or not. I can't tell you that. But I think somebody tried to frame him. And I don't know. I want to believe that Jenny had some involvement in it somehow. In my heart, I know that's probably what happened.
You want to remember her first moments and her happy moments.
And the last day that I can remember having her, Donnie and her stayed up until I want to say 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's like they ate 10 pounds of sugar. They just wanted to stay up, bounce and jump on the couches. And it was a good time. That's my last real good memory with her.